Welcome to Retention Attention with Jackie McManus, your source for the latest trends in transportation recruitment and retention.
Hi, my name is Jackie McManus, CEO and founder of KJ Media. We are a recruitment advertising agency niche to the trucking and logistics industry. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Today, we're going to talk about your EVP and why it's important. The EVP is your employee value proposition, and it's absolutely critical in today's hiring market. The relationship between employers and employees has changed drastically over the last couple of years, as we all know. And with the amount of remote work and flexible opportunities that are now available to drivers, to warehouse workers, to mechanics, to diesel techs, other industries are taking folks from our space, and attracting top talent and keeping folks in the industry has become a lot harder. And employers need to do a lot more than just offer a competitive salary. When you go to Indeed.com, for example, a lot of the job postings look pretty similar, plus or minus the actual company name, the route, maybe the equipment. The pay is pretty similar. The benefits are pretty standard. And so it's really important that if you want to recruit, retain, engage the right people for your organization, you really need to differentiate yourself from the competition. And so you do this really externally through your employer branding, and internally by building a strong employee value proposition. Both are as important as each other. Your employer branding will attract the right people to your company. Your EVP will ensure they stay. So at the core, a strong EVP will improve your quality of candidates and increase your overall retention rate. We've found on average, carriers that have a really strong EVP, they are below the industry standard of the 70 to 90% turnover rate. They're benchmarking at between 40 to 50% turnover rate. And that's because they've taken the time to craft their EVP. So it really is the core strengths of your company. For example, what makes your company such a great place to work? And really, what's unique? And why should carriers or drivers or workers choose your company to work for? And this stat is incredible. 75% of Americans won't take a job with an organization with bad reputations, even if they're unemployed. So because of technology, while we love it here at KJ Media and, big fans of technology, as it's excelled our overall process for ourselves and for our clients, when you Google a company, their reviews are out there. They're everywhere. Glassdoor, Indeed, right? When a driver or prospective candidate Googles your company, your website comes up, your Facebook page comes up, and then your rankings through Google, through Indeed, through Glassdoor. And so it's really imperative to have that strong EVP so that you also, on the flip side, can establish better reviews when on the recruiting side. So when you think about what your EVP should include, while these benefits obviously will include monetary compensation, money shouldn't be the mainstay of your EVP. Your EVP should also include non-monetary benefits and rewards too. So, for example, support, recognition, and values that you as an employer provide to enable successful employees to reach their highest potential. And the purpose of a strong EVP is threefold. Number one, to attract, recruit, retain, and motivate employees. Number two, to inspire customer loyalty. And number three, to deliver shareholder value. One important point to note, an EVP is not a two-way agreement. It's your comprehensive list of benefits that you provide your employees to bring out the best in them. However, it's not just about creating an employee-centric value proposition. Progressive organizations are shifting their approach from just viewing employees as workers to valuing them as humans. It sounds so simple just to value your workforce as humans, but it's a conversation we have quite often with carriers in this space. And then also when we're on the radio show with Tim Ridley at Road Dog Trucking. And so by making this simple switch, they're seeing a 28% increase in employees who are likely to recommend their organization. We love referrals. We all know a referral lead is usually the best lead. Decreasing annual employee turnover by over 70% and increasing new hire commitment by 30%. So those stats alone are really staggering and mind-blowing and should take the EVP and make it critical as something that your organization puts together and focuses on and crafts and recrafts on a quarterly, every 6-month basis. So the following categories are essential in building a strong employee value proposition as they determine how your employees and potential candidates perceive your organization as an employer. So it's kind of a 5-step approach. Number one, the organization itself, including reputation, any accolades, best fleets to drive for example, the market position, industry, size, and any sort of diversity and inclusion that your company is promoting throughout your internal staff and then outwardly as well. Secondly, you want to look at rewards. So compensation, health benefits, employee leave, there's schedule options. We just saw recently a customer, they're offering free massages. I think it's 20 massages per driver. Never seen that in the 15 years I've been in this space, but that's where we're really seeing carriers say, how can we treat our drivers that are running, 3 weeks out of the month? And so that is what's being promoted on these platforms. Thirdly, you want to look at the people, including manager, coworker quality, the management practices, senior leadership, and see exactly how they communicate with their current workers and promote that. That could be a great opportunity for a video, for example, of how the internal staff communicates with the drivers that are pounding the pavement day in, day out. Fourthly, opportunity, including development opportunities. Future growth and career paths is something that a lot of carriers are starting to include in their job listing. So, for example, we've seen carriers where they may start recruiting drivers at the high school level, and that driver obviously cannot obtain their CDL at that time, but they will put them in a position where they work in the warehouse or a dock worker. Once they hit 21, the carrier then assists them through loyalty in obtaining their CDL license, and then from there creating that career path. And a lot of drivers now want to see, okay, I'm a driver today, but I don't know if I want to do that forever. And some of the best recruiters, dispatchers, CEOs, COOs that I know actually started as a driver themselves. And so we really want to show that opportunity and that growth path that your company has to offer, because that's really where, new folks are looking, especially the younger generation, that's what they're looking for, is how can they progress within an industry, and sharing those stories. And then fifthly, the work, including the job impact, innovation, the balance, work-life balance. And with those 5 tactics, that's really what you can boil down to creating a strong EVP. And so when you do create your EVP, it's not something that just you, the CEO, or you, the recruiter, or you, the CEO, can do on your own. Yes, you have certain information available, of course, but you really want to identify key people in your company, from leadership to the driver level to the warehouse workers, and figure out exactly why they want to work for your company. What about your culture works? What about your values? Why are these people inherently proud to work for you? And why do they stay motivated to work for you? You have to speak to the people who live and breathe your organization values and culture in that way every day. And by cultivating, our recommendation is always to create a committee where you have from the warehouse worker to the CEO meet on a quarterly or 6-month basis and talk about the good, about what's going on in your organization, and then address any concerns and how that can be adjusted. And with those meetings, those takeaways, that's where you can really pinpoint why folks are staying and working for your company and develop your EVP. So thank you so much for tuning in today's podcast, and look forward to sharing more tips on recruiting and retention in the future.